Okay, so that's in a time you will already initiate because you know that person. Okay.
Mm.
Alright. So there. Um let's go ahead now with our book, Sean. Well, actually,
Okay.
last time when I'm having an issue with my internet connection, I'm supposed to. I actually sent you a message, but then I think um
Wow.
you,
I saw you have sent it.
yeah, I removed it because I'm about to say that you can just go ahead and continue answering the question instead. Well,
Oh,
but
I didn't see it.
yeah, it's fine though. So can you go ahead and go to page 24?
Okay.
So we will continue discussing um, Richard, who talks about technical concepts. So can you still remember on what did Richard mention on the recording, Sean?
I think I need to review it.
Okay. So, all right. Can you just go ahead and listen?
Uh,
Just
okay, let me listen. Okay.
okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right. We're good.
Yeah.
Uh,
What does he mean by dull explanations?
yes.
Um, use daily use technology terms.
Okay. What do you mean by dull explanations, or what does dull mean?
So it's nothing special,
Mm-hmm. Or
normal.
yeah, or what does dull mean? What is the meaning?
Mm, oh, not interesting or exciting.
Okay, there. Not interesting or not exciting. So he means that dull explanation is not exciting. Or if you're listening to a certain speaker, when they say the explanation is dull, or how are you say, for example, um, certain speaker just keep on talking and talking and talking without maybe the tone of the voice is very monotonous. It's what can you say about that particular speaker or about
Lousy.
lousy or
Uh, Annoying.
annoying? Or let's say if you're the one who's listening.
Boring.
There, see? So Richard mentioned that what does he mean by dull explanation? So it's an explanations that are boring
Mm.
there. So next, says here, what is being patronized?
Um, it sounds like you are show off something.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
show off like this. Is that what you mean? Show off?
yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me what's the meaning of patronize? Thing.
Mm, to
In your own words, what do you mean?
you feel like you are better than others. You are superior than others.
Right. So on Richard's um talk or Richard, what do you call this? On the explanation of Richard, he says that if you have authority or I'm sorry, what was your word again, Sean?
Superior.
Superior. So he um, compare that it's like you're speaking to an adult as if talking to a child. See? So if you're the speaker and you're talking with the same age, both of you are adults, but on how you try to speak to that adult, it's like you're talking to a child. So there, see the difference. So you're superior and you're just talking to like a child. That's what he means by being patronizing. Yeah.
Okay.
So there. Now let's go ahead and discuss further. So this is letter B. So think of some tips on how to solve the following problems. So if you're the speaker or if you're talking to someone else and you are not being understood, how are you going to solve this? Or can you give me tips on how to avoid this?
I am the one who is not being understood. I will try to make a picture, try to explain it more specific, and ask him which part he can't understand.
Okay, so you will ask what they did not understand.
Yeah.
So if they are not responding, what else can you do to avoid this? So for example, like for us, so I asked you a question and you did not answer. And then, or you asked me, can you repeat the question? Then I repeat my question. But still, you did not understand. So, what will you do? Oh, So we'll put this way. So you're the one who is asking the question. Then I ask you to repeat the question, but still I don't understand. So what are you going to do for me to understand your question?
I would check dictionary uh, to make sure the vocabulary I use is
Mm-hmm.
correct, and then if it's about my pronunciation, I would type it on the
Mm.
screen so you can
What
see.
if, let's say, you don't have a dictionary? You don't have something to write on.
I would try to use other
There,
words,
use other words.
uh,
Yeah?
synonyms.
Or what are you going to do with your question?
Uh, I would try to answer to myself.
Okay. Or I actually have a tip here. So if you're not being understood,
Just say it louder and say it differently.
say here, if you're not being understood, don't. Just say it louder. Say it differently. See? So,
Try to say it in another
exactly.
way.
You rephrase your question. So you're correct when you say you will check dictionaries and maybe your vocabulary, or maybe you will look for a different word, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
synonyms or similar words to it can be simple,
Yeah.
simple word which has the same meaning. So there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually one of the tips that they always say whenever you're talking. So if let's say you're talking to a person or maybe to a group of people, so they're not being responsive, then try to refresh your
Mm-hmm.
questions.
Yeah, and I think you are good at it. You are a teacher. You definitely have many situations like this. Your student don't understand. Yeah, and then you will try to explain it to us.
Well, yeah, but of course there are a lot of things that I need to learn also because being a teacher, that's actually an endless learning. So it's kind of difficult being a teacher. They say that it's just easy, but I say no. It's never easy. It's never been easy being a teacher.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Technically, being a teacher is not what I dreamed of when I was a kid. I want to be a doctor, but since we're not that um we're
Not that
no, I
young.
mean we're not that rich, or my parents cannot afford
Oh.
us to send to school. So education, that's the least um, course that I can enroll when I was in college. I even stopped for a year. So
Uh-huh.
when I graduated in high school, then that's gonna time you will um, enroll to college. Since you don't have money, I need to work. Just any kind of work, and then I just try to. I need to go to school. So yeah,
Wow.
education, it's actually the let's say cheapest. It's actually the course that doesn't you don't need to spend a lot of money. There is no laboratories expenses, unlike for other courses.
Hmm.
For you, what's your course, Sean, when you took up your college?
Mm, I don't think that much. I just wanna have a stable job and I can earn enough money uh, to support my
Mm-hmm.
family, and I still have extra money to let me go abroad for travel. Yeah, and I can buy stuff I want.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think that's simple.
Okay. Well, of course, every one of us is searching just to have a job, stable job.
Hmm.
So, getting course or involving a college during my time is actually a very big um, challenge for me because
Yeah, but you didn't give up. You still worked hard to save money for college education.
well,
Yeah, it's good for
well,
you.
technically I didn't earn. Um, when I went to college, I am a scholar of the school, and I'm a working student at the same time. See? So during
Wow.
that time, my parents don't need to give me money to pay for my tuition fee because I'm the one who's at already, right? Since I'm a scholar of this university, I don't need to pay anything. But if we have laboratories, for example, computers, that's gonna time we need to pay for those. And education, it's one of the courses that doesn't needs a lot of laboratories courses or classes that needs computers, something like that. Yeah. So
Mhm.
well, that's actually how I turned to be a teacher. There. Okay, going back. Next, says here being patronizing. So being superior. So it says here it's actually a problem if you're being too patronizing. So how are you going to avoid that?
Yeah. Um, I I wouldn't treat them like a child, and I don't think they are stupid or they are uh, or I'm better than them. So I would explain things normally, like with uh, other people in my
Mm-hmm.
area. But if they don't understand, then I would just specific, uh, more specific to explain it.
Okay, so be more specific.
Yeah.
Okay, so you won't treat them as a child.
I won't. I think is how to say that is not a good manner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, um, for example, so on the recording also, what did Richard give you as an additional tips when it comes to here, number 3, explaining difficult concepts.
Mm, don't use jargon. Just use uh,
Uh-huh.
daily words.
Okay, right? But how are you going to explain difficult concepts to a for me? So, for example, you're the one who's gonna explain to me Microsoft or softwares. So, what are you going to do in order for me to understand technical concept or Microsoft or softwares?
Uh, I would explain it in simple way, not to make it so complicated.
Okay.
Yeah, and maybe make examples
Okay, there are
to
examples, right?
let it easier to
Hmm.
understand.
Aside from examples, what else can you use to explain concepts? It says here concepts, difficult concepts.
Except from example, I think I probably would explain explain it step by step.
Okay.
After you understand this part, and then we go another part. We go next part.
What if for me, let's say, you're trying to describe software for me. So you said you're explaining step by step. How are you going to make sure that I understand software?
I would explain it first, and then I would ask you, do you understand, or which part you don't understand? And then I may make examples to let you understand, like the software you usually use, like a calculator in your computer. It's kind of software, something
Okay,
like
so
that.
there, your examples. So what are you doing? So you say like software is like calculator. So you are what did you just do? So you are comparing,
To
right?
oh,
Yes.
comparing, yeah.
So you're there. So when you give examples, you're already comparing two things. In that way, it's gonna
Yeah.
be easier. So you can use make comparisons between certain concepts, right? Or technical
Okay.
points. So that's actually one of a good technique.
Hmm. Okay.
So examples by using comparison. Aside from comparisons, so what else?
Mm, using comparisons and try to
So what can you see on our title? Says here simplifying and
oh yeah,
and
simplify it and don't over what and
there
illustrate it.
illustrate.
Take-
So what does illustrate means? Can you expound that in your own words, Sean?
Uh, making a story
Okay, making a story. What else?
and try to explain it not straightforward but more detailed.
Okay, or when you say illustrate, you're also using materials such as you can provide drawings, pictures,
Uh-huh.
right? So if
Yeah.
there are actually visual learners, they
Oh
so
yeah.
they will just understand certain topic if you show them pictures, if you illustrate it. So for
Yeah.
you, Sean, what type of learner are you? Are you more on visual or hearing or
Mm,
um, you actually need to do? or experience certain things before you understand or learn from it?
I think I'm the last one. I need to experience it, then I can fully understand.
Okay, because there are several types of learners. So we have visual,
Yeah.
hearing, tactile. That's the one that you need to touch or you need to do it. So there. And I forgot the other one. Okay, but for me, I'm sort of a visual. So if I'm just hearing it, it's kind of hard for me to illustrate or to imagine. So I really need to sometimes take a look on a picture. So there, it's easier for me to understand things if I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
Okay. So there. So this is for explaining difficult concepts. Shaun, is it okay if we could just extend? We will just finish up until number 4. Alright?
Okay.
Maybe up until 11:15. Is that okay with you?
It's
Alright.
okay.
Just additional makeup on my premium. Are you sure?
Okay.
What time do you sleep? Is it 12 or
12:30.
12:30? Okay. Or if, let's say, I don't actually have any class that has doesn't have any student prior to your class, so this is the only time that we can do, to extend it. Alright. Okay, so thank you for that. Going back, here, sounding dull. So how are you going to avoid this?
To speak in excited tune.
Excited tune. Okay. Or how are you going to say this in just one word? Excited. You need to be,
Louder?
well, you can be loud, but that doesn't mean you sound, or you will avoid sounding dull if you're loud. If you're loud, it can be irritating.
Yeah.
So, yes.
I see.
So the tone of your voice needs to be loud, or you need to be quirky. Or, what do you think can you add? So if you're speaking to a group of people, or if you're explaining technical concepts, what can you think to make the explanations to be more lively? Can you describe a good speaker for you? I know you're attending seminars, right? How are you going to describe a best or a good speaker?
They would have a good material.
Good materials, right?
And they won't just say it. Sometimes they would have gestures.
What do you observe if there is an interaction with the speaker and the audience? What do you think some speakers are doing? Or
Asking
questions? Aside from that, are you watching comedy movies? So what do you think or what do you observe on those comedy movies?
They would
What makes you laugh, Shaun? There.
joke. Oh, so they would prepare jokes and during their speech.
So by using the gift of humor, so you call that humor. Yeah. So
Oh, yeah,
if you
humor.
yes,
Humor.
if they will give jokes, so of course it's kind of fun, right? And also,
Yeah.
you can also incorporate. What else do you think can or speakers add into their speech?
Sending gift. I mean, they would ask questions, and if people have the right answer, they would get the gift from the
Okay,
speaker.
gift. Aside from gift,
Uh,
so if they provide short or interesting stories, so
yeah.
they actually using anecdotes. We call that anecdotes. Have you heard about this word, Shaun?
Oh,
Yeah,
anecdote.
anecdotes are actually short or amusing or interesting story about a real incident or person. Yeah, so it's
Okay.
kind of example.
I see.
So
Anecdote.
it's
Anecdote.
anecdote. So let me go ahead and add that here. Okay, so next session or next class, Sean, I want you to just listen to the conversation here, just for additional information. And can you prepare an anecdote? We'll start the class a bit, try to share.
Okay.
Well, you can actually tend to create your own anecdote, or you can just maybe look online, or it depends to you.
Okay, I will
Yeah.
try.
Then we'll try to share that on our next class. Okay. Alrighty.
Okay.
Well, anyway, that's just short. So just to enlighten the mood of our class, because I know it's too late in the evening and both of us are tired. So I want us to kind of tend to, since we're already talking about this as well. All right. Alrighty.
Okay.
So I think I just need to end at around 11:11. Alrighty.
Okay.
So that's it for now, Shaun, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Good night.